So good morning friends, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, here we are about to start the session. The PDF for today's session has already been uploaded on our Telegram group. You can download the PDF from our Telegram group. So here we are about to start. Golden Kumar, Mohit, Vicky, Diksha, Sakshi, Nisar, Rakesh, Pradeep, good morning everyone. So sufficient number of people have already joined us. Okay, so let's start the session without wasting much time. So देखते हैं आज के अखबार में क्या खास है. बट बिफोर मूविंग टू दैट स्टेज, ओके, लेट्स लुक इनटू दिस पर्टिकुलर message given by Mahavir Swami, okay, Lord Mahavir. So he says that conquering oneself is better than conquering millions of enemies. Why it is important to conquer yourself? In our life, self control is really very important. Because if you are not having control on yourself, that can create lot of trouble for you. Without self control, you can be a disaster for yourself as well as for others. Okay, so this is the reason why we are putting emphasis on controlling oneself. And the point is this: how will you control yourself? How will you conquer yourself? And what exactly does this conquering means? Conquering means that you need to overpower your materialistic, materialistic attractions in your life, materialistic demands that you have. You need to conquer yourself. You need to conquer your desires, because there is no end to the desire. Throughout the life, we desire multiple things, and somehow having a control over your desires, it can help you a lot. Okay, it can help you a lot. Suppose a civil servant is there. That civil servant, if have control on the desires, then there are less chances that he will come up or end up in corruption. अगर अपनी इच्छाओं के ऊपर कंट्रोल है तो यू विल नॉट बी, यू कैन से, गाइडेड बाय द, यू कैन से, टेम्पटेशन ऑफ करप्शन. आप करप्शन नहीं करोगे. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दिस इज ऑल्सो रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, other point is this: when we talk about conquering oneself, so for that purpose you need to have emotional intelligence. आपको इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस आप में होनी चाहिए. यू नीड टू नो कंट्रोल, यू नीड टू नो हाउ टू कंट्रोल योर सेल्फ. यू नीड टू हैव दैट होलिस्टिक कंट्रोल ऑन योर सेल्फ. अपने ऊपर पूरा कंट्रोल होना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. सो दिस इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू आउट देयर. ओके, सो इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस हैव मल्टीपल कंपोनेंट्स. इट इज ऑल्सो अबाउट नोइंग योर सेल्फ, अपने आप को जानना. If you don't know yourself, you will not be able to conquer yourself. अपने आप को ना तो आप conquer कर पाओगे, neither you will be able to direct, channelize your energy towards your goal. Emotional intelligence is also required because we have to channelize our energy towards our goal. Whatever goal is there in your life, you have to channelize the energy towards goal. Without that, you will not be able to achieve the goal. And conquering oneself is equally important to facilitate rationality in the decision making. Because we want decisions to be taken on the basis of fact and not to get influenced by the emotions. This is what Mahavir Swami has mentioned. If you have all these qualities, no one can stop you. In whatever field you are entering in, no one can stop you. This is the major message they are sending here. Okay, so let's move to the major section of the newspaper today. So here we have this section here. Now Pelosi lands in Taiwan, China slams United States. Okay, so despite, you can say, instruction from the China, so US functionary, she visited Taiwan. Okay, and it was there in the news that 21 jets, Chinese jets, they entered the Taiwan airspace. 21 jets जो हैं वो ताइवान के एयर स्पेस में भी एंटर करके गए हैं, बट दे डिडंट कैरी आउट एनी एक्टिविटी. ओके, कुछ खास उन्होंने किया नहीं वहाँ पे. एंड यूएस ऑलरेडी न्यू दिस. यूएस ऑलरेडी न्यू दिस. This visit by a US functionary in China, in Taiwan, okay, it has major significant outcomes. One of the outcome is this, that US might not support one China policy anymore. Okay, one China policy says that other countries, if they want to have relations with China, then they have to consider China as a whole. Okay, and Beijing के साथ सीधा आपको interact करना पड़ेगा. That you have to interact with Beijing, not any other entity separately. But here, this visit by you can say US functionary in Taiwan, this is significant, as it also shows that US will be backing out. US will back out the Taiwan in each and every circumstances. Okay, US will be there to back out the you can say Taiwan in the difficult circumstances, and it's a warning for the China as well, that if you don't mend your ways, this is what it is going to be. Okay, ये चीज हो सकती है यहाँ पे. तो this is the point that US is trying to prove, and it is sort of an assurance that Taiwan, people of Taiwan, don't need to be fearful of Chinese. Okay, so this is the whole idea. Now another news, Al Qaeda chief killed in US strike in Kabul. Okay, so there are some questions that you have to understand here. Questions in the sense, he was killed in Kabul and there was a drone attack. Okay, so drone carried out that attack. Now the question is this drone flew from where? Okay, this drone flew from where? Now if you look into the Afghanistan, okay, there are hardly any chances that it could be flown from Iran, because Iran and US, they both are, you can say, they don't have good equations. Okay, other thing is this Pakistan. So the point is this, there are good chances that Pakistani military and the security agencies, they might have allowed this drone to pass over their land. Okay, and this is how it is. This is how it is. And in return, like, the person who is allowing US, they will get some money. Already we know that in case of IMF, Pakistani chief, army chief, okay, now Pakistani army chief requested United States to persuade IMF to give bailout to Pakistan. So some of the experts are saying that this particular act by United States right now to eliminate Al-Jawahiri is basically a part of larger package that was, you can say, offered to Pakistan. That money will be facilitated to Pakistan, IMF will provide funds to Pakistan, and in return they have to assist United States to eliminate Al-Jawahiri. So this is how things are being played. This is how things are being played here. Now this angle have to be explored. Okay. Other important point is this, what impact it is going to have on Indian subcontinent. Excuse me. Because he recently, like in one of his video, Al-Zawahiri was giving a call to the people in India as well. Okay, so basically Al-Zawahiri wanted to spread the impact of Al-Qaeda in other parts of the world as well, including in India. And when there was this hijab controversy in Karnataka, okay, at that time as well, he issued a video. This is what you have to understand here. So it is a significant thing for us as well. Okay, हमारे लिए भी बहुत significant चीज है ये. And the point is this, he was a doctor. Okay, he was a doctor practitioner, and from there he ended up as a terrorist. So this is important thing here. ठीक है ना, डॉक्टर था और बाद में वो terrorist बन गया. Okay, now it shows that sometimes नीड इज नॉट द यू कैन से रीजन फॉर टेररिज्म. जरूरी नहीं है कि किसी की जरूरत हो, गरीब हो, पॉवर्टी टेररिज्म के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल हो. नो, these people they were quite well off. Osama bin Laden, he was an engineer, he was a doctor. Okay, so this is how like even the educated people they can end up in terrorism. Okay, ऐसा हो सकता है because they might be you can say attracted by the ideology. So it is also quite possible. This is the other angle that you have to explore here. So other than that, there is nothing much on this particular page. Okay. So rupee not collapsing. This is what finance minister is saying. So yesterday, if you see, there was you can say a surprise increase in the value of rupee, and it increased by 53 paisa. Okay. So yesterday it was 78 point something. That was the value. So these are some of the things. Other than that, there is nothing much. Directly we'll move to the editorial section. Okay. तो सीधा एडिटोरियल सेक्शन पे चलते हैं. सो व्हाट मेड देम टेररिस्ट साक्षी? दे वर इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द आइडियोलॉजी. ओके, दे वर इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द आइडियोलॉजी. ओके, ideologies can also make people to you can say go for violent methods. ऐसा है. So let's start another important you can say editorial today, and this editorial is pointing towards a really important topic, that is freebies politics. So first of all you need to understand one thing, like we announce freebies. Okay, political parties they announce freebies before the election, like free you can say TV, television will be given, and bicycle will be given, etc., etc., etc. The point is this: is this right? Is it right way to criticize freebies? क्या वाकई ये सही है freebies को criticize करना? So here you need to understand one thing. It depends upon what you are calling as freebies. Okay, what you are calling as freebies. Why I am saying this? Because you need to understand one thing here. Now in Bihar government distributed bicycles to girls. Okay, to girl students the bicycles were distributed. It played really important role in facilitating their education, as by using their bicycle they were able to reach out to the school areas. Okay, distant schools, so they could complete their education on time. So this is the positive example of this freebies. This is the positive example of this freebies. It is not appearing to be bad here. Okay, as it is facilitating the you can say socio-economic development. It is facilitating a socio-economic development here. But counter to that, like there are freebies like television, distribution of television, okay, laptops. So they might not have good impact. They might not have good impact, and prime concern is that it's like a bribe offered to the voter. That's the major concern, okay, because it impacts the voting pattern of the you can say society of voter, and we cannot say that it facilitates free and fair election. बिल्कुल भी आप ये नहीं बोल सकते. So this is the point which has been made in this editorial. Now concerns have been raised over freebies because Prime Minister is saying this, okay, that we have to move away from freebies politics. Look what happened in case of Sri Lanka. सबको चाहिए free में दे दो, the system can collapse. Okay, this is what Modi ji said. So this was the point, and I started up with this point that what you are calling as a freebies. How do you define freebies? Okay, this is the major point here. So the question is this: what constitute freebies? There are a whole lot different things which can be covered under your freebies. Right from the free distribution of club goods such as television, gold chains, okay, they are also freebies. But there are other things like subsidized ration under PDS, midday meal scheme, MG Narega, okay, supplementing nutrition through Anganwadi. So these are also freebies. But here you have to understand these are having a positive impact in the society. Each one of them. not the, you can say, distribution of television and gold chain, but others, they will have a positive impact on the society. And this is what has been mentioned here. So government announced Pradhan Mantri Green Garib Kalyan, you can say, Yojana. Okay, that was announced by the government. Now under this particular Garib Kalyan system, government expanded even the non-ration card holders to get free food during the corona time. Okay, you got the subsidized or free food grain during the corona time, because at that time it was required. We cannot say that this is the politics of freebies, because at that time it was about the survival of your society, survival of Indian citizen. How can you say that, it was a freebie? And even if it was a freebie, but was it a good thing or a bad thing? It was a good thing. Okay. So we have this food grains distribution system through PDS. Now this has played really important role in our food security and has facilitated many people to move out of poverty. So if you have poverty elimination as your target, okay, तो वो अगर आपका टारगेट है तो इट प्लेड अ रियली इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, योर पीडीएस प्लेड अ रियली इंपॉर्टेंट रोल इन इरेडिकेटिंग पॉवर्टी फ्रॉम दिस कंट्री. It again played really important role when it comes to like MSP introduction, because MSP is offered by the government of India to the farmer, and the food that is procured from MSP is basically used as a PDS system. वही तो फूड है जो पीडीएस के अंदर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होता है, जो हम एमएसपी देके फार्मर से लेते हैं. तो बेनिफिटिंग फार्मर, इज इट अ बैड थिंग? Is it a bad thing? Then you have MG Narega and midday meal scheme. Now they have also played an important role in improving the standard of living of the people. Midday meal scheme has facilitated the nutritional health of the masses. Okay, nutritional health. So they played a really important role, and having definition of freebie and completely saying that you are going to reduce these freebies, this shows that your mindset is quite elitist, कि freebies के नाम पे आपको सिर्फ unproductive चीजें ही नजर आती हैं. No, it is not like that. All depends upon how you are defining freebies. Then this editorial raised a fundamental question. They says that if PDS and all, they are freebies, and you are against such type of freebies, then what about those tax rebates that are given? Okay, so in this country around 1 lakh crore is the revenue foregone annually as the result of major tax incentives that are given to the corporate tax players. Major incentives are given, and in those incentives the total amount that government loses is 1 lakh crore. हर साल 1 लाख करोड़ का नुकसान होता है सरकार को, जो आप एग्जेम्पशंस दे रहे हो, कंसेशंस दे रहे हो कॉर्पोरेट्स को. इज इट नॉट फ्रीबीज? क्या वो फ्रीबीज नहीं है? ऑलरेडी द टैक्स रेट हैव बीन रिड्यूसिंग इन दिस कंट्री. वो काफी कम कर दिए हैं हमने यहाँ पे. ओके, so effective tax rate has declined as profit increased. This is how the system is in this country. So whatever exemptions we are giving now, is it a right thing that you are allowing those exemptions there and you are criticizing the, you can say, distribution of PDS and other things? This is unfair, and this is what this editorial is pointing towards. Okay, so let's move to the next, you can say, editorial. Next editorial talks about the, you can say, crypto regulation that has been introduced in Europe. Now this is important here. Okay, काफी important है ये, because why I am saying this? See, this editorial mentions about one thing, the general data protection regulation. Now this general data protection regulation, it was published in 2016. It was a tool that was accepted in European Union to protect the consumer data, okay, and privacy in Europe. Now the point is this, in 2019 prelims this question has been asked. Okay, the question was like this: which one of the following adopted a law on data protection privacy in the citizen known as General Data Protection Regulation? Okay, like definitely the answer is European Union. This is the 2019 prelims question. Now in this editorial, it is being pointed towards one thing, that Europe has now come out with a new initiative. Okay, Europe at present has come out with a new initiative that is being termed as MICA, or Regulation of Markets in Crypto Assets. Regulation of markets in crypto assets. For your prelims perspective, it is important that you know this regulation of market in crypto asset, this is the initiative of European Union. ये इनका इनिशिएटिव है, ठीक है ना. This is what you need to know. And as they facilitated data protection in their continent, and it was a, you can say, learning thing for rest of the world, in the same way this regulation of market in crypto asset will provide learning to the rest of the world to what to do with the cryptocurrencies, कि पूरी दुनिया को क्रिप्टो करेंसी में क्या करना है. दिस विल बी, यू कैन से, लर्न थ्रू दिस पर्टिकुलर अरेंजमेंट. दैट्स द मेजर पॉइंट. ओके, this is what you need to understand. Now this particular idea of Europe in MICA, basically what it is trying to do, it regulate crypto asset services and the crypto asset issuers. Services provider and the issuer both are to be regulated here. Okay, it intends to provide consumer protection, transparency, governance standard, regardless of the decentralized nature of the technology. So the point is this: earlier, what was the problem with the cryptocurrency? We used to say that you cannot make any entity accountable for that. But here with MICA, it is being facilitated. Whosoever will be the service provider in your country, जो भी ये क्रिप्टो एसेट्स का सर्विसेज आपको दे रहा होगा या जो एक्सचेंज खोल के चला रहा होगा, he will be liable for anything happen to your money. That's the major point here. Okay, so for instance, in this MICA, crypto asset service providers will be liable in case they lose investors' asset. तो अगर आपका पैसा खो जाता है तो who will be the service provider? Whatever exchange with whom you are operating, they have this responsibility, and this is really important. There are some other regulations that are added, like market manipulation will not be allowed, insider trading will also not be allowed. Okay, so some effort has been made at the end of European Union, and rest of the countries, they can learn from it. Okay, this is how it is, this is how it is. And it is also coming out with another specific thing, that is stable coin. Now what is this stable coin? Basically stable coin is also a cryptocurrency, but here there are some strict compliance to the rules and declarations. It means that it is not a random thing. There will be some documentation, strict compliance of rules will be there, and as per the rules and declaration, the cryptocurrency will be functioning. That will be termed as stable coin. Okay, this is what you have to understand. So this MICA initiative, it also facilitates stable coin activity. That stable coin issuer must maintain reserves to cover all claims of the coin. Means you have to maintain a minimum reserve. Earlier there was no such requirement. If you want to draw your money back, there is no guarantee that you will get your money back. But here they will have to, you can say, maintain a certain reserve. This is really important development here, क्योंकि banks के पास भी जैसे कुछ reserve होते हैं, in the same way they are also maintaining some reserve. That's the important point here. So in this way Europe is showing the way to the rest of the world. Okay, तो ये सारी चीजें यहाँ पे बताई गई हैं. So we'll move to the next particular, you can say, editorial. Now this editorial also is providing us some information related to prelims. Okay, so we will not get into the political tone here, but it is pointing towards few things, few, you can say, initiatives. So recently government, they introduced a particular bill. Okay, already this bill was introduced, the Antarctic Bill 2022, and it is regarding that. So Jairam Ramesh is throwing light over the development of different historical events. Okay, so first thing for sure, you need to understand one thing, like we showed our presence in Antarctica in 1982. Okay, So we carried out Operation Gangotri, where Indian expedition they reached the Antarctica. So it was in 1982. So you need to know this. Now this Antarctica as a continent is important for us because it contains vast important minerals, atomic energy minerals. Okay, that's why the whole world is having an eye on Antarctica. पूरी दुनिया की नज़र अंटार्कटिका के ऊपर है. एंड अंडर दिस ऑपरेशन गंगोत्री लाइक वी रीच्ड अंटार्कटिका इन 1982. Okay, now we want to carry out multiple things specifically from the ecological point of view. We want to learn about the climate system and the other activities. Okay, we are there to study glaciers and how glaciers are going to impact the global sea level and later on in other parts. Okay, so those are going to help us in improving our, you can say, resilience towards climate change. हमें भी हेल्प करेगा यहाँ पे. So we are studying there to have knowledge regarding oceans, monsoons, okay, ice bound regions and marine biodiversity. So this is all what we are doing here. तो वो सारी चीजें हम यहाँ पे कर रहे हैं. So it's a good thing. Okay, it's a good thing. Like these missions are going to be really helpful for your future. So in 1988, okay, we established research stations in Antarctica, that is Maitri and Bharati in 2012. Now these were the research station and you need to remember them because this is important for your prelims point of view. Say now I am giving a homework to you. See, we have these missions, research stations in, you can say, Antarctica. The homework is this: you have to tell me what is the name of Indian mission that is there in Arctic. Okay, आर्कटिक ओशियन के अंदर कौन सा इंडियन मिशन है वहां पे. सो यू हैव टू टेल मी. दिस इज योर होमवर्क. ठीक है ना, दिस इज योर होमवर्क. ओके, सो विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. आगे चलते हैं. सो हेयर वी आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स this particular thing. Now government package to revive the BSNL fortunes. Okay, so the point is this: government is now like considering to spend some money, okay, on BSNL, and they are saying that there are good chances that it might be revived. Okay, so they are ready to you can say pump in nearly 1,64,000 crore. Okay, 1,64,000 crore. This is what government is planning to pump up in this particular sector. See, from the competition point of view, it is really good that there are multiple players. So like users will have more choices. Okay, users will have more choices. But the point is this: now earlier Nitin Gadkari, one of the government minister, he said that government should have, okay, should have no business to do business. No business to do business. And Modi ji says that idea is minimum government, maximum governance. Okay, so if you are thinking of maintaining this BSNL as a sarkari, you can say, system, then don't you think we are increasing, we are maximizing the government? हम सरकार का साइज बड़ा कर रहे हैं अगर आप इसको मेंटेन करके रखते हो. That's the point here. Okay, that's the point here. ठीक है ना. So this is how appearing to be contradictory to what government was preaching. The point is this: already the Indian telecom market is very competitive and survival is going to be difficult. This is how the thing is. So there are chances that BSNL may end up, you can say, making more losses, और नुकसान भी हो सकता है. ठीक है ना. तो ये सारी चीजें हैं यहाँ पे. ओके, सो देयर इज अनदर न्यूज. हैज बेल अंडर PMLA बिकम नियर इम्पॉसिबल? So this is the point. So section 45A(1) of PMLA requires that before a person is released on bail, the public prosecutor must be given an opportunity to oppose the application. Secondly, the application is opposed, the court must be satisfied that accused is not guilty. So there is slight change in this. The court is satisfied. Now अब आपको लग रहा होगा these are just words, but they will have a major impact because before this particular principle that was introduced, the idea was that the person was considered innocent until proven guilty. Innocent until proven guilty. Okay, but here it is being undermined. ये कहीं ना कहीं यहाँ पे undermine हो रहा है. ठीक है ना, because यहाँ पे कोर्ट इस तरीके की तो कोई बात कर ही नहीं रहा है. Court is considering that the person is guilty, and till the time court is not assured that he is not guilty, bail should not be released. Bail नहीं दी जानी चाहिए. तो इसका मतलब कोर्ट तो ये मान के चल रहा है ना कि वो गिल्टी है. दिस इज द प्रॉब्लमेटिक पार्ट हेयर. ओके, तो इसीलिए बेल थोड़ी मुश्किल हो गई है यहाँ पे. सो विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट. हेयर वी हैव this news. Okay, so central officials, they are monitoring the impact of Jawari's killing specifically in Afghanistan or in Pakistan, and like impact can be visible in India as well. थोड़ा बहुत पड़ेगा हमारे यहाँ पे. Okay, what will be the future of Al Qaeda activities? So there is certain doubt about it. Okay, कुछ clarity नहीं है यहाँ पे. So that was the thing. Now India is highest priority. This is what Maldives president is saying. Yesterday I already showed you this particular point. So here is Maldives. So they are really important from India's maritime security perspective. Okay, हमारे maritime security perspective के लिए वो हमारे लिए बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हैं. And already the major powers, they have an eye on Maldives. Okay, पूरी दुनिया की नज़र है चाइना की खासकर, ठीक है ना. So we are not alone in this game. This is the competitive world. Okay, so we have signed a cyber security agreement, and it's a really good development here. We both sides are willing to work on transnational crimes and terrorism, okay, in Indian Ocean region. So this is what the whole idea is about. Already you should know this. There is a campaign going on, that is India Out campaign in Maldives. Okay, so India Out campaign चल रहा था वहाँ पे, and like we have to do a lot to improve our image. So this is how it is. हमारे अपनी image को improve करना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. But this present era is information warfare. Okay, आज की दुनिया information warfare की है. So you never know, China might be doing it. This is how it is. Okay, China और पाकिस्तान. This is the complete picture. Other than that, there is nothing much. कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. Okay, so we'll move to the next part. So 2 more monkeypox cases confirmed. Okay, so we are keeping a strict surveillance on this particular development, and it is important as well. Look at the density of Indian population. Okay, बहुत ज़्यादा density है. If there will be a spread, it will be disaster for people of this country. So this was the point. Other point is this, like smallpox vaccine is going to be effective here. ओके, मोंकी पॉक्स के साथ डील करने में स्मॉल पॉक्स की वैक्सीन काफ़ी इफेक्टिव होगी. सो नाउ गवर्नमेंट माइट बी थिंकिंग ऑफ गोइंग फॉर मास प्रोडक्शन. ओके, इसके मास प्रोडक्शन के बारे में हम सोच सकते हैं. ऑलरेडी द पेटेंट्स फॉर द स्मॉल पॉक्स वैक्सीन आर, यू कैन से, दे आर लिमिटेड, क्योंकि बहुत पुरानी वैक्सीन है, ठीक है ना. तो सेम ओल्ड वैक्सीन, पेटेंट उसका एक्सपायर भी हो गया होगा, एंड यू कैन कैरी आउट योर, you can say, production at large scale. Okay, so this is what this was about. And on the international page, so again, like as I told you, Al-Zawahiri, he was from Egypt. Okay, so there are going to be some impact, but over the time, if you see, Al-Qaeda was already quite weak. Al-Qaeda काफ़ी weak हो चुका था यहाँ पे, ठीक है ना, in last you can say some of the years, specifically after the death of Osama bin Laden. Okay, so there are good chances that Taliban might have facilitated this, you can say, catch of Al-Zawahiri. क्या पता तालिबान ने किया हो. So ऐसा बिल्कुल हो सकता है, ठीक है ना. So Russia labels Ukraine's Azov regiment terrorist group. Okay, so this is how still both countries are fighting with each other. There is no, you can say, end appearing for this war. कभी जरूर अभी लग नहीं रहा है कि war जल्दी से ख़त्म हो जाएगा. So this is how things are. So turmoil on the, in the international, you can say, market is going to be there. Okay, so ऐसा रहने वाला है. Other than that, there is nothing much. Okay, so trade deficit soared past 31 billion in July. So this is the important development here. Okay, so आपका trade deficit जो है वो widen हो रहा है. It means that your imports are more than your exports. Okay, and the number is quite big, that is $31 billion. What could be the major reason? Major reason will be, definitely we have to import crude oil, and their prices are quite high. Okay, उनका prices काफ़ी ज़्यादा है, तो you have to import crude on higher, you can say, higher price, and that's why our import budget is also increasing. So exports are not picking up. Why exports are not picking up? The reason is the global slowdown that is going on. Okay, तो पूरी दुनिया के अंदर एक slowdown सा चल रहा है यहाँ पे. Specifically the western economies, including US, they are majorly impacted by this development. Already, like, there are chances of recession. You never know, recession kya pata aaye na aaye. Okay, so these are some of the concerns that are going on at present, and this is the reason why our export is not picking up, because in the international market demand is not there. Okay, demand ही नहीं है तो आपका export कैसे आगे बढ़ेगा? So these are the challenges that are there at present for Indian economy to deal with. So this is what we have in today's session. That's it for the day then. Thank you very much.